and welcome. My name is Savannah and today's class will be a yoga practice for runners. This class will be a bit more of a workout style class. It will be challenging and we will be working on building strength for the entire lower body, including the calves and the hamstrings. You can do this practice on one of your rest days from running as a cross-training practice, or you can also do it on a day where you have a little bit more time and you would like to do this alongside one of your runs. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. You can post them in the comments below. I hope that you find this practice to be beneficial for your running. If you would like to read up on why this practice can help you with your running, I have written some information on that. You can read that in the description box of this video. My hope for this practice is that as you do this practice and you begin to see the benefits in your own body and the positive changes you find in your body, in your mind, with your running practice, you will begin to feel more willing to do this practice more regularly, make it a more consistent part of your routine along with your running. Let's begin class with toes pose. So this pose is great for the feet, great for stretching out and opening the feet. It can be intense, so I will show you how to modify it. You will start by sitting your hips down onto your heels. Make sure all 10 toes, even your pinky toes, are tucked under, getting a stretch for each one of those toes. So to make it more intense, if you need to, you will lean back. Maybe you bring your hands down on the mat behind you. Lean back. To make it less intense, you will lean forward, taking some of that weight off of your feet. Bringing your hands down on the mat in front of you. So make any changes whenever you need to. We will be holding this pose for a little bit. Let's take a really big breath in here, in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. A few more just like that, connecting in with the breath to help us as we stay in this challenging pose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Once more, inhale through the nose. And exhale all the way through the mouth. Now, breathing in and out through the nose. As I said before, you can come out of this pose, come back into it. You can make any changes that you need to. This can be quite intense, especially if this is your first time doing the pose. So find what feels right for you and for your feet and for your toes in this moment. The more often we do this pose, the easier it will be. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Allow each breath to be full and complete. Allow each breath to assist you in staying in this pose. Last 2 breaths here. Slowly slowly begin to come out of this pose. Bring your hands on the mat in front of you. Bring the tops of your feet down to the mat and just gently move your feet around. Maybe you shake the feet down onto the mat. And then from here, let's extend the right leg back behind. Right foot towards the back of the mat. And then rock your weight forward towards your hands and then back towards the ball of the right foot. Finding a big stretch for the right calf. Rock forward towards the hands and then rock the weight back into the right ball of the foot. You can move as fast or as slow as you like. Maybe as you inhale, you move forward. As you exhale, you move back. Good, let's switch it over to the other side now. So the left leg will extend back, left foot towards the back of the mat. Rock the weight forward into the fingertips and then shift the weight back. Weight goes into the ball of the left foot. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, come back, finding an intense stretch for the calf. Move at your own pace. Maybe you notice here which calf muscle is tighter, which one feels less intense, which one feels more open. Let's make our way back into tabletop now. Left knee comes back in. Extend your right leg back, your left arm out in front. Spinal balance. From here, bend the right leg, reach back with your left arm to see if you can grab onto your foot with your hand. And if you can't, just hold here. You're still working hard in the pose. Otherwise, reaching back for the foot, and then pull your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. Look up slightly, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. Heart opens up. Finding a big stretch for the left shoulder as well as the right quadriceps. Notice where else you feel this pose in your own body right now. Holding here for one more big breath. Release into spinal balance. Slowly, gradually opening yourself back up. Arm comes forward, leg goes back, and then release back to tabletop. Right away, other side, left leg extends back, right arm forward. Holding here for just a little bit. And then bending the leg, reaching back with the right hand for the foot. If you can reach, otherwise you don't have to reach, you can just hold here, reach back with the arm, bending the leg a little bit more. You're still in the pose. If you have the clasp, grab onto the foot, pull the foot into your hand and pull the hand into your foot. Reach up through the crown of your head, pull your heart forward, find an opening for your right shoulder as well as the left quadriceps. Holding here for a couple more breaths. Right, gradually, slowly release. With control, arm reaches forward, leg reaches back. And then come back to tabletop. From here, let's make our way into our first downward facing dog. So the fingers are spread nice and far apart. Toes tuck under behind you and lift the hips high towards the ceiling. Legs can be as bent as you need them to be here, and the heels do not need to be reaching the mat. Focus more on finding length and space through your spine, rather than straightening out through the legs. Let's step the right foot forward in between the hands. Release the back knee down and reach your arms up. Inhale here. Exhale, straightening out the right knee. Arms reach back towards the back of your room. Hover your chest and your torso over the right thigh. Inhale, come back up to low lunge. Shoulders over hips, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, half splits, arms reach back. Hover over the right thigh. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits, arms reach back. Hovering over the right thigh. 2 more times here. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Hover your chest over the thigh. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half splits. Hovering over the right thigh. Come back to low lunge. 1 big breath here. Bring the hands down and step the right foot back. Downward facing dog. From here, right away on the other side, left foot steps through, top of the mat, in between the hands. Right knee comes down, inhale, low lunge, arms reach up. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, arms sweep back, hover the chest over the left thigh. Inhale, low lunge. Reach the arms up, left knee is directly over the ankle, and then exhale, arms sweep back, extending the left knee long, straightening out the leg. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hover over the left thigh, arms stretch back, straightening the left knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. 1 more time here. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, low lunge. Plant your hands down, fingers spread nice and far apart. Step it back into downward facing dog. From here, make your way to the top of your mat. Bring your feet together. Set your hips low, come into chair pose. Arms can be reaching up, or hands can be at heart center. It's up to you. Come up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels. Lower back down. Lift the heels. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, straighten the legs, arms reach up, and then come all the way back down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, plant your palms down, step back into plank, make your way back to downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, step your right foot through in between your hands. Bring your back heel down and step it closer towards the top of your mat. Come all the way up to stand, warrior 1. Bring your hands together at heart center. Straighten your right leg out long. Inhale, reach up through the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Grow long through your spine. And then exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Allow your spine to come parallel to the ground. Halfway lift here. Come all the way back up. Inhale. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Think of bringing your left hip forward, your right hip back to square your hips. Continue with this, going at your own pace. Allow there to be a slight bend in your right knee, so you're not hyperextending the knee at all. Allow your spine to be super long. Now think of bringing the feet towards one another, and notice how that changes the pose. Bringing right foot back, left foot forward. And then continue with this, but bring the feet further away from each other. Right foot forward, left foot back. Let's do one more here. Lower down and then lift up. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Move back to downward facing dog. Great work. Let's do that on the other side. Left foot steps through, top of the mat. Bring the right heel down. Step it a bit closer in towards your left foot. Come up into warrior one. Hands come down through heart center. Straighten out through the left leg. Inhale here, grow tall through the spine. Reach up through the crown of your head. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Folding over just halfway over your left leg. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. Continue with this. You can move faster, you can move slower. It's completely up to you and how you are feeling right now. Think of bringing your left hip back and your right hip forward a little bit to square the hips. And then think of bringing the feet towards each other like you're going to scrunch up your mat into the middle. Notice how that changes the pose. Let's do a few more. And then try to bring the left foot forward, the right foot back without actually moving them. And notice how that changes the pose. There's no right or wrong answer, just notice how it feels right now in your own body. Let's do one more now. Lower down. Inhale, lift up, lift the arms up. Look up towards the hands. Lower the hands down, step the left foot back to plank. And then lift the hips up high, come into your downward facing dog. Nice work. From here, step your right foot through between the hands. Top of the mat. Come onto the outer edges of both of your feet and reach the right arm back towards the left foot back of the mat. Look towards the back of your mat. Allow your hips to lower down towards the mat. We'll hold here for a little bit longer. Come back to center. And then bring the right foot towards the right side of your mat. Staying lifted here off of the back knee. Hands are to the inside of your right foot. Allow your heart to reach forward towards the front of your room. Stay super strong in both of your legs. From here, release the back knee down. You can stay here with the back knee down, or if you would like, you can reach the right arm up towards the ceiling and back. Maybe you find a stretch for your quadriceps, bending the left leg more and reaching back for the left foot with your right hand. Look back towards your left foot. And then pull the foot into your hand and push the hand into your foot. Open up more through your chest, more through your shoulders. One more big breath here. Release. Both hands so they're back to the inside of your right foot. And then we'll make our way back into our downward facing dog, lifting up the left knee, step the right foot back, down dog. Right away, left foot steps through in between the hands. Come onto the outer edges of both of your feet. Reach the left arm back, lower the hips down towards the ground. Look back towards the left hand. Stay here for about 2 more breaths. This is a big stretch for the lateral parts of your legs and the outer hips. Release, make your way back towards center. Heel toe the left foot towards the left edge of your mat. Both hands come to the inside of that foot. We'll stay right here for about 3 breaths. Breathe in and out through the nose. Allow your breath to support you in the pose. Release your back knee down. Option to stay here, or you can reach back with your left hand for the back foot, for the right foot. Maybe you grab onto the foot. Maybe you start to look back towards the back of your mat, opening up through your chest and through your shoulders, finding a big stretch for the right quadricep muscles. Stay active in this pose by pressing your foot into your hand and your hand back into the foot. 1 more breath here. Release. Bring the left hand back to the center so it's inside of your left foot. Then tuck the back toes, the right toes under, lift up the knee, step the left foot back to downward facing dog, hips lift up and back. Heels can be lifted high off of the mat. Stay in your down dog for just 1 more breath. From here, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen out through your spine. Exhale to fold down over the legs. Inhale to come all the way up to stand, arms reach up. Hands come down through heart center. From here, I'm just going to turn so you can see me better. Standing on the left foot, taking the right ankle over the right thigh, over the left thigh. Coming into standing pigeon and finding some dynamic movement here. So inhale here, exhale to squat down. Inhale to stand up, exhale to squat down. It's okay if you lose your balance. Let's come back up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come 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 up. Let's do 1 more and we'll hold it. Come up, and this time, come down, let's hold it. Set your hips low, hands together, heart center, lift your chest up. A couple breaths here. Come all the way up to stand now. Set your foot down, shake it out if you need to. Now we'll stand on the right foot. Bring the left ankle over the right thigh. Hands come together at your heart center. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up to stand. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up. Let's keep going with this. Let's do a few more. One more here, and then on the next one we'll hold it. Lower down, and let's hold it for a couple of breaths. Come up to stand. From here, release, and you can shake it out. From here, I'm going to face back to the front of my mat. And let's stand on the right foot, coming into a little bit more balancing work. The right arm's going to come forward, left arm back. We're going to balance on the right leg. Left leg will come back, coming into a single leg squat. Inhale, rise back up. As you rise up, knee comes up, left arm, or right arm comes forward, lower down again. Left arm forward, left leg back, rise up, right arm forward, left arm back. Continue with this. Move at your own pace. So when you are low down, the left arm is forward, the right arm is back, and when you rise up, the right arm is forward, left arm is back. This time, let's hold here at that lower down position for a couple of breaths. Ground down into your right foot a little bit more. Come all the way up to stand. Release and shake it out. Moving right to the other side, standing on your left foot. Coming into that single leg squat, right arm comes forward, left arm comes back. As you bring the right knee closer towards the ground, come up, switching the arms, switching the legs, lower down. Right arm comes forward, left arm goes back as you lower. Left arm forward, right arm back as you rise. Continue with this, go at your own pace. Let's do one more, and this time we'll hold it at the bottom of the range of motion for a couple of breaths. Let's come up to stand and then release. Shake it out if you need to. Inhale, let's continue, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold down over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Step the feet back to plank. Lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Step your right foot through. Come onto the outer edges of both of your feet. Right arm reaches back. Look towards the back of your mat. We're back in this intense stretch for the lateral hip, lateral leg. Holding here for just one more breath. Come back to center. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Left foot steps through. Come onto the outer edges of both of your feet. Left arm sweeps back towards the back of your mat. Look to the back of your mat. Allow your hips to lower down a little bit more towards the ground if they are quite high. Find the stretch that works good for you though. Come back to center and then make your way back to downward facing dog. From here, in your downward facing dog, drop down to your knees, come into a tabletop position. Fingers are spread nice and far apart, toes tuck under, lift your knees up to a hover. Extend your right leg back. One more breath here. Release it down, and then extend your left leg back. Your right knee is close towards the ground. Lift it up just a little bit. Come back to hovering tabletop. Let's do each side once again. Extend the right leg back. Release the right foot back and switch it over to the left side. Extend the left leg straight back behind you. Release, come to hovering tabletop, relax your knees down, take a child's pose. Allow your hips to rest down onto your feet, arms stretch out in front of you, or arms can come alongside your body, fingertips towards the toes. Come back to your breath, notice the flow of your breath, notice the pace of your breath. Come back to tabletop now. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let's take the right leg out to the side. Leg is bent at about 90 degrees. Lift it up, lower it down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Go at your own pace. Try to have equal amount of weight in each of your hands. So there's a tendency to put more weight in the left hand here compared to the right hand. One more now. Set the right knee down and let's try the other side. Left leg comes up, leg is bent at 90 degrees, lower it down, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Go at your own pace, find what feels right for you and how your hips are feeling. Let's do 3 more, 2 more, last one, lower it down. Extend your right leg off to the side, foot will be off of your mat, leg is straight. Tuck your left toes under. Stay here if this feels like enough of a stretch. Or sit the left hip back to the left heel. Arms can stretch out in front of you if you like. Forehead can even rest down onto the mat if you like. Arms can bend here, resting the forearms down to the mat. Inhale to find a little bit more space in the pose. And exhale to settle in. Let's start to walk our way back up. Right knee comes back to the mat in tabletop. Left leg will extend out to the left side now. Left foot is off of your mat. Right toes can tuck under. Stay here if this feels like enough of a stretch. Or sit the right hip down to the right heel. Arms can stay where they are or walk the hands farther out in front. Maybe you allow the forehead to rest down to the mat. Elbows can bend, resting the forearms down to the mat. Breathe a little bit deeper. Allow your breath to be something that can guide you through your yoga practice. Your breath is something that you can always come back to each inhale and each exhale. Allow each breath to be full and complete. Let's gradually start to return back to tabletop. Bring the left knee back in, and from here, make your way onto your back. Take up lots of space on your mat. Once you're on your back, legs extend long, arms extend long. Take a breath here. Then bend the legs, knees come up to the ceiling. Lift your hips up into a bridge pose. Let hips lift to the ceiling. Stay here for one breath. And then start to walk the feet out towards the front of your mat. You can come up onto the heels of your feet as you walk all the way out. Once you're in a nice long bridge, hold here. Walk the feet back in to where we started. And then once you're there, you can return the hips down to the ground. Let's try that 2 more times. Lift the hips up. Come onto the heels of the feet as you walk the feet out towards the front of your mat, holding here. Walk the feet back in to where you started, and then relax the hips down. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. Walk the feet out in front as you exhale. Inhale, walk the feet back into where you started, and then lower the hips down. Let's come back to that long bridge and hold it for about 3 breaths. Lift the hips up, walk the feet out. Lift your hips up high towards the ceiling once your feet are to the front of your mat. Lift your hips up higher, straighten your legs more. 1 more breath here, and then we'll release. Good, walk your feet back in. Once your feet come back in towards your hips, relax the hips down. Take your feet to the edges of your mat and take your knees from side to side. From here, extend your arms out into a T. Take your legs up to 90 degrees and take them over towards the right side for a twist. You can look towards your left-hand side if that feels okay for your neck. Find any variation of this twist that feels good for you. Another option is to have the right leg straight, left knee in towards your chest, and then left leg comes to the right. Grabbing onto the left knee with your right hand. Let's switch sides now for our twist. So for your twist, both legs can be bent or one leg straight, the other leg bent. Taking the legs up at 90 degrees, release them over towards the left if you're doing that option. Otherwise, the left leg can be extended long, right knee in towards your chest. Bring the right knee towards the left side, left hand to the right knee, and then the right arm out towards the side. Making any adjustments in your twist and then settling in there with your breath for a few more big breaths in, big breaths out through the nose. Allow your breath to take you back into this moment right here, right now. From here, slowly release and bring your knees into your chest. Arms on the ground next to your body. Extend your legs straight towards the ceiling. It's okay if they aren't straight completely. And then bend your legs, extend your legs. Take your legs out into a V so legs come away from one another. Take your legs back together. Bend your knees in towards your chest. A few more times. Legs go into a V. Legs go together, knees to chest. Extend the legs up. Bring the feet apart from one another. Legs go into that V. Legs come together. Knees come to the chest. One more. Legs go to that V. Legs go together. Knees to chest. Wrap the arms around the legs and hang out here for a little bit. And then release into your Shavasana, the final pose of class. The legs go long, arms go long, take up lots of space on your mat. If it feels better for you though, you can have your knees bent, feet down onto the mat, knees up towards the ceiling. Or maybe you have the feet to the edges of your mat and your knees knock into one another. Settle into this pose. Notice how as your body comes and finds the stillness, maybe your mind will as well. Allow your breath to flow easily and effortlessly. If you notice you keep being pulled off to other places and other things, thinking about what you have to do later today or later this week, use your breath to bring yourself back. Maybe as you inhale, you say to yourself, inhale. And as you exhale, you say to yourself, exhale. Another option is you can count your breaths. So inhale 1, exhale 1, inhale 2, exhale 2, and continue like that. Take a moment at the end of your practice to thank yourself. Thank yourself for trying out this yoga practice. Thank yourself for moving your body, for improving yourself, working on both your body and your mind, as well as improving your running practice. Thank yourself for taking this time out of your day for yourself. Taking care of yourself in this way. I'll leave you to rest here in your Shavasana. You can stay here for as long as you would like. Thank you so very much for joining me to practice today. I would love to hear any comments, thoughts, or questions that you may have in the comments of this video. I hope you have a great day.